See, I've learned. Listen to you. You're very much more of a free spirit than I am. I am much more data driven in
Sure.
terms of my decision making. So,
Yeah.
like, as a free spirit, a more artistic type of person. I mean, talk to me a little bit about like fear
There's
of
definitely
failure.
there's
Do
definitely
you
some,
experience fear of failure?
oh, every day, 100%. But that's kind of what drives you. So fear of failing is unavoidable. So you might as well live with it, and you might as well hone in on it and use it for good. Failure is, of course, as we all know from the many self-help books that we've all read, I'm sure, is just an opportunity to learn from that. And you can't really succeed without failing 5 times first. So it doesn't scare me. Failure doesn't really scare me. I failed as a spy, but that's okay because I'm here now.
So where did you fail on that painting behind you, on that mural behind you?
Oh, so this big palm in the middle, I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah, it's not the best.
It's not. It's just not. But it's okay because we'll put a neon sign in front of it.
Okay, let's be honest. Like, I thought that was like wallpaper or
Really?
yeah, I was like, wow, that thing is really nice. And then to find out that you just did that freehand, is that?
Yeah.
So how do you get like such perfect circles?
You don't paint a perfect circle.
They're pretty close. I mean,
Well, I think maybe perspective is the issue, and maybe looking at something when you're too close up, you notice a lot of imperfections. This is a metaphor for life, by the way. If you're too close to a problem, you're going to notice a lot of imperfections. But when you step back and maybe stand at a distance, maybe you can see a little bit of the bigger picture, and it looks a little bit better from.
That's interesting because I was listening to David Blaine, the world famous magician, recently, and literally like 15 minutes of him, and
What is this, 2007? David Blaine.
I think he has a new book or something out.
Yeah, he's got a YouTube special coming out on August 31st.
He's got some new piece of content that's coming out. They go on all these tours where they're on everyone. By the way, if you guys have never realized that, that's a legit thing where if you start to see the same person on a bunch of different media outlets, that's what they're doing. They're going on their press tours. Yeah. So David Blaine has been on his press tour recently, and I think he was on the Joe Rogan podcast. And I think Tim had listened to this or something, and I'd watched like 10 minutes of this, 15 minutes of this, and Joe Rogan was like, I can't shuffle cards. And David Blaine goes, oh, it just takes practice, whatever. And he goes, I mean, you're so good at it. He goes, but there are people who I won't shuffle cards or do any cards with because they're so good at that thing. And I think that's similar to what you were saying, where it's like, to the novice like me, I look at that and I go, it's amazing. But I'm sure there's someone in your world that you would never show that to because you would just never want them to frown upon it, to look at that and throw shade at it. But to me, I look at it and I go, man, like you should make that wallpaper. That looks great. So it's so interesting though that there's different levels of individuals that you would give attention to differently on your piece of work. For me, that might be like Vince McMahon or something. I don't know who that would be for Tim. Maybe that Dean runner guy, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
But it is interesting. What was the quote, the metaphor that you were saying? What was that line?
Perspective matters, maybe.
Yeah.
When you're too close to an issue, you're too close to it, you're going to see a lot of imperfections, but it's kind of stepping back away helps you to see the bigger picture, I guess is the quote.
Got it.
Yeah.
That you may quote.
I think that holds true from a meditation standpoint. It's one of the things that I've taken up, I guess, a couple of months ago, and just given myself 10 minutes to step back and take a view that's a little bit further away.
Well, I mean, think about
in an escape room, people get so granular about problems and they lose focus on the bigger picture. They lose focus of the goal and they're not thinking critically because of that. So it happens all the time.
And I think so many times we listen to people from a business perspective that have no business experience whatsoever, and we allow that to negatively or positively affect us. And it's like, hey, this person has no idea what they're really saying. maybe we should look at this a little bit deeper. And so I'm constantly analyzing, like, who is saying that, and should I even give them the time of day?